Mhm. Think we are live. Word. Well, welcome back, everybody. Um, so I think today we're gonna have a short stream. I'm still exhausted. Work has been a lot. Um, so I do want to cover one story, the nerd Game of Thrones. Um, and we'll talk about what's happening, like the background, what's currently going on now, and then maybe this is something that will follow um, as things develop, um, because I mean, it's going to shift the industry one way or another. So let me make sure um, everything's good before I switch. Oh, it is not. Hold on one second. Um, I should have. We're gonna do this really quick. Um, do, 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 do. Already technical difficulties. Let's see one more time. We can get it. Do this one more time. There it goes. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. Um, so we're gonna do this, and then now I think we should be good. Um, cool. So yeah, so I want to cover uh hold on. I think something else is going on. Ah, now I know what happened. Okay. Now we're good. Cool. Um, so yeah, so big things happening today. The nerds are fighting. The girlies are fighting. Um, and the way tech CEOs fight is in the courtroom. So currently, Elon Musk, and I don't think you need to explain who Elon Musk is, but just in case, um, just in case, um, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Um, this guy right here is Elon Musk. I mean, he is, he started, well, I mean, define start, right? He started a bunch of companies. I think he is most famous for Tesla. Uh, Tesla. He bought Twitter. Now he renamed it to X because he has a thing for X. He has SpaceX. Let's make this a little bit bigger. SpaceX. What else has an X? He started his own AI company called XAI. What else? What else has he done? And I think he started with PayPal and then he sold it to buy Tesla and then to buy Twitter. Um, so he's also richest dude in the world. So he's the guy who is suing. And no matter what, if the richest guy on the planet is suing you, you should be a little bit afraid. Just a wee bit. Um, so who is he suing? Who is on the chopping block? It is. Hold on. Um, I don't know why this is not working. There it is. It is this guy. Who is this guy? So this is. Oh yeah, one of his Elon Musk's kid. So this is Elon Musk. Um, one of his kids is X. It's like some weird name named his child X. So really different dude. Um, so who is he suing? This is Sam Altman, and he is the CEO of OpenAI. Um, and their most famous thing that they did is create ChatGPT that kind of kicked off this whole AI, quote unquote revolution. That's when shit just started going sideways. Nothing was the same afterwards. You could say. Um, so these are the two people, the big two groups. I mean, obviously they're not suing each other personally. It's like their companies and the lawyers, but these are the two people that got beef. And the reason why I'm focusing on them is as much as this is like a legal tech matter, um, it's really kind of interpersonal beef. And I don't think people realize how much drama happens in like these Silicon Valley circles and like unironically like Game of Thrones stuff. And this is no different. So what is like the backstory? Well, the backstory is um uh Elon, well, not Elon, Sam wanted to create a non-profit to create an AGI. Now, so this is like back in what, like 2015? I think he called this uh he really called this the Manhattan Project. I can't spell Manhattan. Uh I can't spell Manhattan. How do you can I like shrink this down? Okay, great. Now if you don't know uh, what the Manhattan Project is. It's essentially the super secret project the government did to create the nuke, which one rich dude telling another rich dude that he wants to build a nuke for AI or like, on that level of like research ground because, after that, nothing was the same, right? Already scary. Already scary. Um, but he wanted to do it as a nonprofit. And the reason why I'm stressing this is gonna come in later. So then Elon said, sure, take my money. Um, I think he said they'll have a conversation about it. Um, and uh, but eventually they created OpenAI. So this is where it all started. I'm surprised he didn't throw an X in there, like OpenAIX or something XAI. Um, and it's also interesting that later on, he created his own AI company that's like a for-profit company. And again, that'll come in later. Now, OpenAI was mainly funded by Elon. He threw most of his money into that. And the whole idea, it's weird that because when I was reading about this, they wanted this like nonprofit, and he mentioned that this is like a Manhattan project for AI, and then Manhattan project was something that was like built, like they were trying to figure out how to use, like the physics of like nuclear energy or whatever, but for a weapon, like they were building a weapon. But um, Elon is very scared of AI. Like he's fine with using it, but he is more on the conservative side. Is like, hey, we need to develop this thing, but develop it, in a very, conservative way, as opposed to other people who are like, nah, just let it ride. So it's weird that Sam told Elon, like, oh, hey, I want the Manhattan Project, but they want to create this as a nonprofit and share what they're making. So to like reduce AI going wrong, I don't really know. It really didn't make sense to me. But the whole goal, um, the original goal of Open AI was to um, share, develop, and share AI research. So it was supposed to be used by anybody. That was like the beginning. It didn't start out as like a for-profit company. Um, so there were, this is like really research slash technology. Um, So the way to like combat like the scariness of AI is just to make everything public. So, unironically, no one's building underground nukes. Um, and because they felt that it was too like the AI technology is too dangerous for one company to control. So they originally wanted it to be open. But later on, kind of like to my confusion, later on, like maybe 2 years later, in like 2017, they said that doing it like open, it's called open sourcing when you just share with everyone and it's not behind like a paywall or anything, is even more dangerous. Um, so that was like the first concern. Uh, Two concerns with this. First, sharing the tech is actually more dangerous. I can't use my grammar. Um, uh, Second, um, can't they couldn't raise money enough money as a non-profit. So when they first originally did this, like yes, they were getting money from Elon, but it wasn't enough. So they were like, oh, maybe we should make this a for-profit company so we could get more money. Um, and the reason why they wanted more money was their goal, like with the technology, is to create AGI. They need enough to create an AGI. Now, what's an AGI? Um, it's artificial general intelligence. I can't spell. Will this help me? Excellent. Um, so artificial general intelligence, you could think of this as like, think iRobot, Will Smith, or Skynet, Terminator, or Wally, So it's like it's essentially a computer that could actually just do everything that people say AI can do now, or they could just do whatever. But that's like the actual scary thing when like they can understand what's going on. They actually have like intelligence. They could think through things. They could think about, their existence, things like that. So that was like their ultimate goal. So you need a lot of money. And we see with these companies that are all worth $1 billion, they're blowing millions of dollars, and they still haven't achieved that. So imagine doing that as a nonprofit. Um, um, so the other part of this is so then Elon proposed to attach OpenAI to um what was it? Was it Tesla? Oh, to Tesla. I don't know if it was Tesla or um SpaceX or something like that. And the other key part, and give him control. Now this is where the plot thickens. Because originally as a nonprofit, like you don't have like equity in like the normal sense. Um so to get more money, he wanted to attach it to Tesla, and then he would get like a lot of the controlling shares of the company. He could like, you know, decide the direction. Now this is where things get spicy. Sam told Elon to fly a kite. He said no, which obviously, as we know, Elon, he gets really spicy with people who he has like major disagreements with. Uh, so then after this, um, Elon then left. He just bounced. No, I mean, it's a nonprofit at this point, so there's no, he doesn't have to get paid out or whatever. He just dips. Um, and then obviously, because we said at the beginning, Elon was paying for everything. He was paying for the bills. So when he left, right? When he left, now, now Sam is broke. Now they don't know what to do. So, so then, now that Sam's broke, this is when Sam turned Open AI to a for-profit. And this is key because this will come in later. So then he turns it into a for-profit. He gets a bunch of money. I think it was from Microsoft. Um, so once they did that, then they stopped because again, originally they were originally founded as a nonprofit to, bring in AI utopia and share technology with everyone so everyone can benefit. Now they're struggling for money. They turn for profit. Um, so now they had to shut down sharing. They shut down sharing the AI tech. So now, because obviously, if you're a for-profit company and people are paying you money to make more money, it's kind of awkward when you're sharing like probably like the most important parts of your company. It's like kind of company secrets. You're just sharing this, the Krabby Patty recipe with everybody, and you're gonna tell me you're making money? No, you can't. You can't do that. So then they stopped sharing the money. Um, So then I think after that, that's kind of, they've been on this track. They're a for-profit company. And now I think they're worth like, I think it says here, $730 billion, almost three-quarter of $1 trillion. Um, and the interesting thing, um, uh, that's the for-profit company, but they went with a very weird structure. So I don't know the names. I didn't get a chance, but there is let's see, can we do some okay. Here we go. For profit open AI. And then there's another non non profit. And then oh, I wish I did something better. You gotta excuse my jank. Uh 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 so how they have this structured is OpenAI, the for-profit, is controlled by another nonprofit. So there's like an executive director and all this stuff. And so there's like this weird management where Sam Altman is the CEO of the for-profit, but he's controlled by another nonprofit. And then they like, they decide to like share resources, tech, and like what have you. Um, and this is all important because so this is the background. This is the background. I hope everyone's keeping up. So then, in this last part of this episode, what is the lawsuit about? And why is it important? I almost did not spell important. Um, so why is um why is Elon suing? So here, uh, Elon, oh, this is like way too small. I feel like I just got to stick with the large, extra large. Elon felt that Sam stole his non. So the short of it is, Elon said, hey, back at the very beginning, you told me that we were going to do this nonprofit. We're going to open source us, share the technology. We're going to like really try to make sure there's like guardrails on this AI, and because I'm not really crazy about it. And then all of a sudden, you turn this into a 730 billion dollar company, now worth 730 billion. And I can't with these numbers. Like, I don't really, that just sounds like a obnoxiously large number. So he's pissed. So he's saying, you stole my charity. He's also tweeting about this, like, scam Altman, he said. Uh, they stole a charity. They're fucked up. They're running away with, um, with this AI thing. They're making the world worse. Elon said, "I try to make the world better, and they're just trying to make money and all of this stuff." Um, so yeah, so that's what he's saying. Uh, and Sam fires back, or his, the lawyers of OpenAI. Um, Sam says, um, I don't. Well, what am I doing? You're mad that you didn't get a cut. Because, mind you, again, I think originally when he was going to slap this onto Tesla, I think he was going to get like half of the equity, like 55%. Don't quote me on this. I should have had better notes. Um, so, so then if, he would have had half of this 730 billion. And then he went on to create XAI, another for-profit AI company. Why'd you make it for-profit, Elon? So that's essentially Sam's argument. And that's essentially what the two opposing views of the lawsuit. Elon saying, like, y'all stole a nonprofit. Sam is saying, well, you didn't really care about it being a nonprofit. You only started suing us when we started making cash. That's really the only reason. Um, so why does this matter? Well, it matters because what is Elon suing for? Elon is suing for a lot of money, is the shorthand. But I want to grab a number. Oh, yeah. Elon wants 150 billion from Sam. So that's what he's told. Literally, what? About a like fifth of the value of the whole company. He just wants cash. Going to be pretty rough. So If Elon wins, OpenAI is cooked. They'll have to pay out. Maybe they won't have to pay out that whole money. Usually, when people sue other people, or companies sue other companies, they just say some crazy exaggerated number, and it usually gets reduced down to that, reduced down from that. So, if that is the case, if that's not the case, then 150 billion is. I mean, 100 billion is still a lot, especially they'll fall behind. Like all these AI companies, so like Elon with his company, OpenAI, there's Claude Code from Anthropic, there's DeepSeek from China. Like they're like it's really neck and neck. And people, so if they have to spend, even $100 billion on stuff that's like not into the company, they'll fall behind. Um, but if Sam wins, um, they'll still get to compete in the AI race. So, um, so they'll still like, instead of giving Elon 100 or $150 billion, those could get to use that to invest in their company. I think they want to like buy like data centers so they can, make better AI tech and stuff like that. So they'll probably spend their money on that instead. And then having this lawsuit, because they started this lawsuit in 2024. Once this lawsuit finishes, I think the trial is going to be like 6 weeks. Once this lawsuit finishes, and it's like this dark cloud is done over their head, then like a lot more people would want to invest because no one wants to invest in a company when they could potentially be paying out like 150 billion dollars. No one wants that. So so not only will they not have to pay, but then it'll be easier for them to get more money and, um, you know, use that money to invest. Um, oh, I did forget. Also, on top of the 150 billion, um, Elon also wants Sam to leave the company. So Elon is not getting any stake in it, but he just doesn't want Sam to run the company, which is kind of fucking petty. I don't know. Maybe it's not petty, but I don't know. Maybe, yeah. That's why like Sam and his lawyers are saying, you're just mad. You didn't fucking stay. You left with none. Um, so then I guess the last thing is, what does this mean to you? Really, it might change like who is the leader, like in terms of like what like AI tools are you using? Are you using ChatGPT or something else? Um, I'm really heavy into Claude and Claude Code and Claude Design. I was gonna do a demo today, but I didn't get it ready before this. Um, but yeah, like it's gonna be a big deal either way. There's gonna spend a shit ton of money during this lawsuit. I wonder how much the final bill would be. But the lawyers are eating. The lawyers are eating today. So yeah, they just started going to court today, and the opening statements happened today. Maybe I'll cover the opening statements in more detail tomorrow. And maybe whatever else has happened like after opening statements, but this happened this morning. So I kind of want to cover this. And I might cover like other like big like AI news, kind of like with Claude Design. But even if it's like legal drama stuff, I want to cover. because when the nerds fight, it really do be funny. But I think we're gonna pause there and pick this up tomorrow. Hope people enjoy this like this dramatic explanation. Um, and yeah, we'll see who comes out on top. Um, Tune in tomorrow for episode 2 of the Nerd Game of Thrones. Yeah, so that's about it. All right, y'all. See ya.